Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Abu. Now we'll be working with user relationship function in Power BI. So it is a DAX function. So we're going to look at it and at what point in time do we need to create a user relationship. So we are going to first go to the docs to see what user relationship is and what are the different things that we need to know about user relationship. Okay, so right now, if you look at the definition, it says it specifies the relationship to be used in a specific calculation as the one that exists between column 1 and column name 2. So now you have you have the name of an existing column using a standard DAX fully qualified that usually represents the many side. So that means that for the many side there has to be a fact file. Then the second one has to be the one side or the lookup side, which is what the dimension. So you're looking at that. So now if you scroll down a little bit, it says the example shows how to override the default or the active relationship, so between two tables. So now we are going to look at our file right now and see what we can do here. So if we go to the relationship, now we want to be able to, if you look at the dates right now, if you look at the date, the default here is date key to due date. It's as simple as that. That is the default. Due date key to date key. Now the sales is our fact file, the date is our dimension. If you notice what we read, but we have 3 dates. We have like 3 dates. We have the due date, we have the ship date, and we have the order date. So now if we are being asked to work on, let's say, the order date, how do we do that? If we are being asked to do to work on, let's say, the ship date, how do we do that? Because due date is different from order date and is different from the shipping date. So how do we work on this? Because normally if we go to our report, and let me go to page 2 of our report. If we go to our report right now and we have this sales, now in this table right now you see sales. The sales is just calculated some sales, but from the date is using actually the due date because that is the active relationship that we have. But to override the due date so that we can calculate for, let's say, order date or ship date, we have to use a function, and that function is what we call the user relationship function. So let's look at one and let's create it. So I'm going to click new measure. So when I click new measure, let me increase the font size a little bit. Okay, good. So I'm going to say, so we use due date. Let's say we want to talk on the order date. Let's work on that. So now, first of all, you have to use calculate. Calculate first. Then we are using the sales. We've calculated the sales. Then comma. Then now you use your user relationship. When you use user relationship, is going to ask you for column 1 and column 2. So your first column has to be the column of the fact file. So our own fact file is sales, and we are using the date in sales. So you remember that we want to use the order date. So we have to go and look for order date. So you can see the order date key. When we have that, then we now go for the date key again. So we now go for the dates, then the date key. It's just as simple as that. Then we close our bracket 2 times and we click it. Now it will not give us a different total, but you're going to see what it's going to do. So when we drop it here, have you seen it now? So it tells us the different times so many things were made. So just the different times. So you see that the dates are now different. So now you now know the order date is different from the due date. So if we want to now look at the shipment, so we can also look at the shipment, and we can see. So I'll just copy. So I want to just do a new measure. So this time we want to look at the ship dates calculation. So Ctrl V, then we change this to ship dates. Then we use this also, we change this also to ship dates. Yeah, it's to ship dates, and we click enter. So when I bring it in, you should be able to see now it has changed also. So now you can see the differences here now. So now you can also know that, oh, when was it shipped? I mean, when was it ordered? When was it shipped? Or when is the due date? Something like that. So you should be able to now understand the differences. So now also, if you now say, okay, David, how are we sure that this is the due date? Because it's active, so it's the due date, but we can also use this to cross-check, to just debug and say, oh, are we sure that this is the due date? So let's create it again. So now we're going to create a new measure. Yeah, and control. So we put this as due date. Then we take this also as due date, and we click enter. So it should give us the same date with sales, something like that. It should give us that. So can you see? So now if we rearrange this in a very proper way, so I think that order comes before, let's say, due date. I think it should be like due date. Yeah, something like this. Then, so date, after date, you order it. So how much was being ordered, then how much is due, then when did we ship it. So you can see it was ordered on the 27th, and I think that it was shipped after 10 days. So some calculations like this. So, and this is how you use the user relationship to alter, let's say, the active relationship that you currently have between two tables, between a fact table and a dimension. I hope you've been able to learn something today. Please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to it. See you next week.